r/AskReddit by Reddify. Reddit. What's the scariest theory known to mankind? So there is this surgery people get that separates the connection between the left and right side of the brain. People who get this done often have this strange thing happen where their left hand gets a mind of its own. For example, if you lay a bunch of differently colored objects out in front of them and ask them to pick the one that's their favorite color, they will pick up two that are different colors. People hypothesize that there may be a second consciousness living on the right side of your brain, but does not have the ability to communicate. Yes, split brain syndrome. This is one of the coolest and most terrifying areas of neuroscience. Basically, right brain could exist as a separate consciousness, but it can't talk because said speech center is located on the left brain. It's fascinating. Edit. I'm no professional, but CGP graded a great video on this. I wonder if that could play into mental health issues, where people hear voices, but it's just the right-sided brain fucking with the left. Stop it. Jeez. I have voices, and you're freaking me out. New line. Edit. Don't you all have no sleep stories to write or something? Well, maybe you have a conscious on the right brain that really wants out. Tiny Rick. What happens when the Yellowstone supervolcano erupts? Well, I live in Montana, so I'll be instantly dead. Yahweh. Living in Massachusetts. I'm looking forward to potentially living the road. Best case scenario. I'm one of those dudes locked in the basement for food. Can I come over? I can provide many board games as we await the nuclear winter. It'll bring risk. Whoa. Just because we have till the end of time doesn't mean we have time to finish a game of Risk. Edit. I comment on Reddit and go to nap, then wake up and go to an Easter vigil mass and completely forget I even posted on Reddit. Come back to 5000 plus karma and my first Reddit gold. Thanks, stranger. The Great Filter. An extension of the Fermi paradox. There are large events that filter out which species make it. Humanity has either made it past more than almost anything else in the galaxy, or we've yet to hit it, and the human race will crumble in the foreseeable future. Or we try to prevent it, and plot twist that is the big filter. Only too late did they realize that the Great Filter was knowledge about the Great Filter. In a billion years the galaxy will be populated only by a lazy and unimaginative species that explored the cosmos because it's the most boring thing they can think to do. There's a small cabal at the highest reaches of government that know their greatest threat is public knowledge of such a concept, and so actively assassinate anyone who comes up with it. Exoarchaeologists are watched closest of all. I want to see what /r/reading prompts makes of this. Eventually there will be a super resistant bacteria/virus that will leave us completely defenseless against its spread. Now I played Pandemic. Unless it originates in Madagascar the world is safe. Edit. For those who keep asking. In the original Pandemic Online, if you didn't start in Madagascar it was almost impossible to take on the whole world due to the fact that shipping ports were one of the first to shut down. I just downloaded Plague for my phone today and noticed it to be much easier than Pandemic. If Pandemic taught me anything, Greenland and Madagascar are the two places to be during an outbreak. Fucking Greenland gets me every time. I think you guys are confusing Plague Incorporated with Pandemic. If not, just ignore me. Edit. Ignore me. Turns out Pandemic was a flash-based game before it was Plague, and before Pandemic the board game. It's the same thing. Plague Incorporated is just the app version of the old Pandemic flash games. One of the most frightening theories is one of the simplest. There is no conspiracy. There is no Illuminati or small group of hidden, super rich, mega powerful leaders. Everybody is just looking out for their own and following their own beliefs. All the travesties and pain in the world are because of that. I think this is why so many people believe in conspiracy theories. They are comforted by the idea that someone is in control and steering the ship, so to speak. Even if they have bad or evil intentions, at least someone is in charge. The reality is that the world is rudderless. Even the powerful people can do relatively little. There's nobody really in charge. Edit. I'm not saying that powerful people don't exert an enormous amount of influence, or that certain groups don't conspire in some ways to achieve ends that are less than good for mankind. All I'm saying is that, at the end of the day, they're just people, and they do the same stupid things we all do, and are subject to all our same flaws. They're not superhuman. I think it's because the idea that there is an evil conspiracy implies a hope that once they're beaten the world will be fixed. You could both be right. There is an ice dragon living under Winterfell. I doubt that, as the books describe Winterfell as being built on a hot spring. The walls in either castle are warm to touch. More likely there's one under Dragon's near the wall. Hot spring is probably what's keeping the ice dragon from escaping. Full disclosure, I have no idea what world you guys are talking about. Game of Thrones, but that's okay. We don't really know what we are talking about either. Yes we do. It's fucking CONFIRMED. What is hype may never die. Humanity is a seed planted by an alien civilization to terraform the planet. We were never meant to survive. Oh, I get it now. We are like yeast. Fermenting in our own vat until the alcohol content is high enough for an ice wine. Then we all die. I don't know what kind of wine they like, but this vat is going bad. Edit. Holy shit. I did not expect this comment to blow up so much. It was just a joke, everybody. I know aliens might like our Earth differently than we do. They might be looking for Vinegar and our fuckery is going according to the timetable. Nobody is real, and you're all alone. Everyone on Reddit is a bot except you. Everyone on Reddit is a bot except you. Everyone on Reddit is a bot except you. No. Nobody on Reddit is a bot except you. Is the you that woke up this morning the same one as the one that fell asleep last night? Fuck no, I was fucked up last night. Me too, man. That's not something I'm planning on doing again anytime soon. Not a good experience. I say this every Saturday morning. But then Friday comes again. Forget the name. But the idea that there are fourth dimensional hyper beings existing around us that we cannot see. Just as two-dimensional beings wouldn't be able to see us. But they are always there. Always watching. But if I were a 3D cube in a 2D space, wouldn't part of the universe cut me, thus projecting a small 2D part of me, a square? Wouldn't we be able to at least see part of them? If by see you mean detect, then yes, definitely. But perhaps not with our current tech. There is also no guarantee we would understand what we were detecting, as it would have the ability to travel on a fourth dimensional line between locations, and is in no way obligated to take on a shape we know life to make. Yeah, we'd probably come up with some weird name to describe this matter we can detect, but not interact with. Probably something stupid like dark matter. Time may be a finite dimension. We could reach the end of it and just stop. We reached the edge. There is nothing after that. Everything freezes. The end forever. MMM. Like /r/place. Too soon. MMM. Like r/place. Chemtrails are making frogs gay theory. Actually, this is real. Some species of frogs have mechanism where they can switch genders to even out the male-female ratio in their group. The pesticide atrazine has been causing this to happen in male frogs, making them into hermaphrodites. If something isn't done, this could cause the extinction of several species of frogs. Edit. The quote from Alex Jones actually just says chemicals in the water, which is true, because the pesticides in the ground leach into the water thanks to the water cycle. Hermaphrodites. Get ready for the most depressing theory. The terror management theory. In a nutshell, its explanation would be that everything that humanity has ever accomplished beyond basic survival has been motivated by a fundamental and irreducible fear of non-existent, and things like culture, religion, family etc. are just a massive shared delusion to mitigate our fear of the unknown and ultimately of death. Basically, our lives are pointless. Our achievements are pointless. Our existence in this universe is pointless. Edit. Thanks for the gold. Never really expected this to become popular. Nobody exists on purpose. Nobody belongs anywhere. Everybody's gonna die. Come watch TV. Eek Baba Durkle. Someone's gonna get laid in college. That's a really fucked up oh la la. That we are all part of a programmed game being played by beings far more intelligent than us. You beat cancer, then went back to the carpet store? Damn it, Morty. Holy shit. This guy is taking Roy off the grid. He doesn't have a social security number for Roy. If you are enjoying the video, please give a thumbs up and leave a comment. Solipsism, a theory you cannot disprove. No matter how accurately we can map the brain and log what electrical signals fire when and where when you and I eat chocolate, even if our brain's activity is identical, we can never check whether or not we are experiencing the same sensations. Solipsism is this notion, but on steroids. One can never definitively prove that others are real, and not a figment of one's imagination, let alone whether or not they're experiencing anything as real. Conscious beings like oneself. It's perfectly plausible that the I one experiences is the only conscious, thinking entity in existence. A lot of people seem to think this when they're stoned, or young, or both. It seems Descartes was not a solipsist. He relied on God to ensure that we all exist consciously. I can't experience your consciousness, so therefore I can't prove that you're real. When I was about 7 or 8, I asked my mom in the car how I could know if she was real or if anyone was real besides me, and it kind of flustered her a little, and she tried to rationalize it. And later on I asked my dad the same question. I'm real. Your mom's real. You're real. Now leave me alone. Fucking spot on. Dad, your mom was probably stoned. Going to get buried, I'm sure. But after a near-death car accident, I had a dream that scared the ever-loving hit out of me. In my dream, same car accident ensued, except this time I died. Death was nothing but my thoughts. I still had my consciousness, but no physical reality. I couldn't feel a thing, and it was all pitch black. It was an eternity of nothing but my own thoughts. Not as bad as the guy who got knocked out, lived his life out, got married, had a child, then noticed a particularly odd lamp and stared at it for several weeks. That's when he woke up to the paramedic in front of him. Edit. My greatest post was a TLDR of another post. Oh, I remember that. I remember reading that somewhere on Reddit. Crazy stuff. Make sure to like and subscribe so we can watch together.